Most men spend their lives chasing love, validation, and happiness from women, only to end up heartbroken, used, or trapped. But over 200 years ago, philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer revealed the harsh truth about female nature. A truth so brutal that most men refuse to accept it. By the end of this, you'll understand where you've been deceived and how to regain control. Schopenhauer didn't believe in fairy tales. He saw love not as a spiritual bond or destiny, but as a biological trick, a ruthless illusion designed by nature for one purpose: reproduction. The truth is uncomfortable. When you feel that electric attraction, that obsessive desire, your brain isn't connecting with her soul. It's calculating, subconsciously assessing fertility, genetic compatibility, and survival advantages. Women's attraction works the same way, but with different priorities. Schopenhauer wrote, "Love is the ultimate goal of almost all human effort. It is more important than anything else in life." But he didn't mean this romantically. He saw it as a trap, a fleeting chemical high that fades the moment it serves its purpose. Think about it. How many men have destroyed themselves for a woman who walked away without a second thought? How many marriages crumble once the passion evaporates? This isn't coincidence. It's nature's design. Women don't choose men based on fairness, loyalty, or logic. They follow an ancient selection program hardwired to seek status, security, and genetic superiority. A man's devotion means nothing if he can't provide these. Schopenhauer saw this clearly. Women are ruled by instinct and emotion, not reason. This isn't misogyny, it's observation. Dating apps show how 80% of women compete for the top 20% of men. Divorce courts reward commitment with financial ruin. History shows kings dying for mistresses who betrayed them. The pattern doesn't change because biology doesn't change. Most men believe love is mutual, that if they sacrifice enough, care enough, or prove their worth, they'll be rewarded. But Schopenhauer warned, to be loved, one must not be just, but clever. Women don't fall for nice guys. They fall for strength, social, financial, psychological. This is why the good guy finishes last. Not because he's unworthy, but because he misunderstands the game. He thinks love is earned through service. Women, by instinct, are drawn to men who don't need to serve. Once a man is secured, women often lose interest. Schopenhauer called it the tragedy of possession. The thrill isn't in having, it's in conquering. Once the conquest is over, biology moves on. That's why men who cling too hard, who make women their entire world, watch her walk away. This isn't women's fault, it's nature's. The man who understands this stops blaming and starts strategizing. Schopenhauer's lesson isn't to hate women, it's to see them clearly, to recognize that love is a negotiation, and the man who negotiates from weakness loses every time. The rules of attraction aren't fair, they're not logical, and they're certainly not in your favor. Women hold ultimate leverage in relationships, not because they're cruel, but because nature designed them to be selectors. From puberty, a woman's value in the sexual marketplace peaks, while a man's must be built through struggle, status, and survival. Schopenhauer bluntly stated, "Women are suited to being the nurses and teachers of our childhood by the very fact that they themselves are childish, frivolous, and short-sighted." He wasn't insulting them. He was pointing out an evolutionary truth. A woman's youth and beauty are her currency, and she instinctively knows how to spend it. Look around. Men today are drowning in paradoxes. They're told to be emotionally vulnerable, while women still chase dominance. They're shamed for desiring traditional masculinity, while strong, confident men dominate the dating scene. Modern women haven't just embraced their power, they've weaponized it. Social media has turned attention into an economy, and men are the unpaid laborers. He competes for scraps of validation from women who'll never commit. Why? Because he's been sold a lie. That devotion alone is enough. Schopenhauer saw this trap long before dating apps and Me Too. Women are trained to be incapable of genuine love. Female love is conditional, tied to utility. A man isn't cherished for who he is, but for what he provides. The moment he stops providing, the love fades. This isn't cynicism, it's survival. Women are hardwired to seek the best mate. If a man stagnates, she will replace him, and society cheers her on. Schopenhauer divided men into two categories: those who serve and those who are served. The beta male exhausts himself trying to prove his worth. The alpha commands worth effortlessly. A man who's caught in this struggle becomes a slave, while the one who recognizes it becomes unstoppable. But there's hope. Schopenhauer's most liberating truth is this: the first step to freedom is seeing the chains. Once you understand female nature isn't personal, it's biological, you stop taking it personally. You stop begging for loyalty and start inspiring it. The final lesson? It's not about women. It's about you. The man who transcends the game doesn't just conquer women, he conquers himself. He develops a purpose so fulfilling that female attention becomes a bonus, not a necessity. The men who thrive aren't distracted by the chase. They're too busy building empires.